Welcome to History Uncovered. Today's video delves into the poignant history of one of England's most famous figures, Lady Jane Grey, known as the 9 Days Queen. Whilst her story may be a tragic one, there were also many moments of great happiness in her life. Born in October 1537, Jane was the daughter of Henry Grey, Duke of Suffolk, and Frances Brandon. She had a strong claim to the English throne because her mother was the eldest daughter of Mary Tudor, Henry VIII's sister. Her father, Henry Grey, supported the Protestant Reformation, which shaped Jane's upbringing hugely. She also had two younger sisters, Lady Catherine and Lady Mary. She was raised in a highly educated environment, receiving lessons in Greek, Latin, history, and theology, making her one of the most learned women of her time. She also studied Hebrew with the humanist educator John Alma and preferred academics to activities such as hunting. In early 1547, Jane was sent to live with the first Baron of Sudley, Thomas Seymour, who later married Catherine Parr, the ex-wife of Henry VIII. She was an attendant to Catherine, and after she died in 1548, Jane returned to her home in Bradgate to continue her education. Yet, even with her noble birth, Jane was often marginalised in her own household, overshadowed by her more celebrated relatives, and caught in the power struggles of the court. Jane's life took a significant turn when her parents arranged her marriage to Lord Guildford Dudley, the son of John Dudley, the Duke of Northumberland. This union was strategic, aligning the Grey family with one of the most powerful factions in court, thus solidifying their influence. In May 1553, Jane married Guildford Dudley in a lavish ceremony at Durham House, in a triple marriage. Her sister Catherine also married the Earl of Pembroke, with the Guildford sister also marrying a suitor. Jane was just 15 years old. This marriage was not merely a romantic union, it was interwoven with political ambitions. The Dudley family hoped to secure their grip on power by placing Lady Jane on the throne after Edward VI's death. In Tudor times, it was rare for arranged marriages to result in a truly loving couple, but there is lots of evidence suggesting otherwise. Whilst we don't know much about their married life, Jane described herself as a wife who loves her husband and admitted that she resented her mother-in-law, the Duchess of Northumberland's control over her husband Guildford. However, despite the happy couple, the political situation only got worse for them. The Third Act of Succession, written by Henry VIII, stated that should he die without heirs, as well as Mary and Elizabeth, the crown should also be passed to the heirs of his sister Mary, including Jane. For some reason, however, Jane's mother Frances was excluded from this, but it isn't known why. When King Edward VI died on July 6, 1553, he named Jane as his successor, in a bid to keep the Catholic Mary, his half-sister, from taking the throne. Driven by ambition and political manoeuvring, Northumberland pressured Jane to accept the crown. On July 10th, she was proclaimed queen, but her reign was never truly hers. She stepped into a role she had not sought, and her youth and inexperience left her vulnerable. Jane's reign lasted only 9 days, during which she struggled against overwhelming opposition. Many supported Mary, who had a deep connection with the populace. On July 19, 1553, Mary's supporters began to rally against Jane's rule. And finally, by the 3rd of August, Mary reached the castle, accompanied by her half-sister Elizabeth and 800 nobles. With little military support and public favour slipping away, Jane was forced to confront her grim reality. Jane and Guildford were arrested and imprisoned in the Tower of London. Their trial took place on the 13th of November 1553. Eventually, both of them were charged with high treason. But despite the circumstances, Jane displayed remarkable courage, even offering to make a defence of her faith and her actions. She expressed regret over becoming a pawn in a dangerous game of power. Jane and Guildford were originally spared by Mary, who believed that they were political pawns, and the Duke of Northumberland was executed instead. But after the Wyatts' rebellion against Mary and Philip's marriage, Queen Mary sealed their fate. The day before their executions, Guildford asked to meet Jane for the last time, but she replied saying, and I quote, that it would only increase their misery and pain. It was better to put it off, as they would meet shortly elsewhere and live bound by indissoluble ties. This is heartbreaking for the young couple, but can only give us hope that they have found the happiness they lost. On February 12, 1554, in the early morning, Guildford was executed, and his remains were taken away on a horse and cart. Tragically, these were seen past Jane's cell in the Tower, and she was reported to say, "Oh, Guildford, Guildford," after witnessing the traumatic sight. Later that day, Jane was executed, just 16 years old. Despite being declared a traitor, many viewed her as a victim of political ambition. She faced her death with extraordinary calm and dignity, famously stating, "I am the true Queen of England." With her death, a potential for peace and reform died alongside her. Though her reign lasted only a few days, Lady Jane Grey has secured a lasting legacy. She has become a symbol of the struggle for power and the individual agency amid a brutal political landscape. Literature, art, and modern interpretations of her story serve as a reminder of her tragic fate. Her life has inspired numerous adaptations and scholarly works, celebrating her intelligence, faith, and resilience. Jane's story continues to resonate, reminding us that the quest for personal and political power can have devastating consequences. Thank you for watching this journey through history. If you found the tale of Lady Jane Grey compelling, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell for more captivating stories from the past. What do you think of her legacy? Feel free to comment below. Thanks for watching on History Uncovered. That's all for today.